MVP wins for your free consultation.
Call me your MVP. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversations, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I feel like I need a scotch on the rocks and a cigar to listen to this song. Anybody got any gin Maker's Mark or Jim Beam around here? We got a cigar. And what's the most 70s hat that they used to have back in the day that Dwayne, the rerun used to wear?
Oh, I love those caps. I love reruns. The beret?
The beret, yeah. Somebody give me a beret.
Do you even know the name of this artist?
Now look at here, baby girls. Let me tell you something. Back in my day, we used to love women good.
Yeah.
We didn't care what you did. We just wanted to send you home with a pocket full of money, a little pat on the bottom, and tell you a thank you and a smile. Because you are amazing. Oh, yeah, baby girl. Here's a little money. Go get your nails done. Next time you come over here, wear something right. Here you go. Go ahead, get right, baby. Let me amplify your confidence, your ego. Let me pull at your heartstrings, baby girl.
I saw these two women on a little meme. I meant to send it to you, Krista. They had to be like 80, front row at a concert, living their best life. And I was like, that's Krista in 25 years, 30 years.
That
I don't know how old you are, 40 years.
That is, it's funny that you
rocking out front row.
I had my Saturday plan, because Saturday's really my only day off, and I had my Saturday plan. I have a lot of errands I have to do, and literally my friend Kathy, 2 hours before the show started, said, hey, somebody backed out of this concert. It's in Montclair. You want to go see Berlin? I'm like, I'm there. And I was tired. I had a busy day, but I went and...
I saw you.
Yes.
What is it with you and these? There's no way.
Concerts,
there's no way that I could be running errands and somebody hit me up. In my 20s, maybe?
Yeah.
Not today.
That's boyfriend is like, I don't know, because I always ask him first. I always ask him and my daughter, would you be upset if I went out with my friends and I showed them the text? I'm not like, there's no shenanigans going on, but I did get invited. I really want to go, but I was tired. It really hit me, but I got to see my girl Terry Nunn, so I was really excited about it, and I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be that person who's going to be going to concerts and up until the moment I die, even if I'm in a wheelchair, whatever. That's me.
And how is this band nobody knows about, Berlin?
Berlin, Take My Breath Away, No More Words, Sex.
Take my breath away.
Yes.
That song.
It's beautiful.
This is Top Gun.
Yeah, Berlin.
Well, they must be back because the movie just came.
Yeah. She's been touring since. She's popular.
Are you looking over there at me? Am I thinking about my the other gray plug?
Hey. Everybody loved this song.
Well, just have a kiss after that. Weekdays in the morning, Mrs. Berlin. Wow. This is a great. So this is one of those songs that was in power rotation, and this song brings up a memory. I was in the Mar Vista Garden Projects as a young kid. My mother had this roach-infested radio in the window of the kitchen above the sink, and Kiss FM was always on. and they would always play. This is like 88, 89. A good vast majority of this adult contemporary music because it was popular back then. And this is one of the songs that was constantly coming up on the radio. You know. This invokes feelings of the 80s. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Nostalgia, simpler time of life. Only to have money during this time.
Oh, yeah. I cried. I always cry when I go to my 80s concerts because it brings me back to a time that it was beautiful. It was just different, you know? People were a little bit different. No. Metro and Masquerade, but this was a really big song. But she crossed over during this. She was really in the new wave scene. The first time I saw her, this is the first time I saw anybody that fascinated me. She has a song called Sex. You might know the song. It's amazing. And I saw her on MV3, and she had like this lingerie outfit on, and the guy had like underwear type thing on, and I was like, what is this? Who is this? She has two color hairs. I don't understand. And boom, fascinated with the band ever since. The little girl. Never forget.
Yeah, everything was about emotion. You know, another movie I watched while I was high this past weekend was, what was that movie? The New York movie with the girls, the white girls, Sex and the City.
Oh, okay.
That is a movie.
Are you really?
I'm the biggest fan of this franchise.
So my girlfriend is like, that's, you know, there's so many nuggets you get with that movie when you're high that you don't get when you're sober or inebriated. And the emotion of the film, I think I kind of got a peek into how you view the film. Of the level of embarrassment that what's-her-face felt when he left her at the altar, compared to a friend butting their nose in on your marriage when they already know how hard it is and you cast doubt in my relationship and it wasn't his fault, to a man who's been married multiple times saying, listen, I just want you.
Yeah.
The writing was very amazing in there because it was true to home. Men, we only go through these circuses of wedding because that's what you want. We're just as cool getting married at a courthouse because it's you that we care about, not necessarily the wedding. But also understanding the relationships of the girls, and then looking at the different designers that they put into the film, which was absolutely amazing. When she was going to go pick out her wedding dress and seeing the different designs from an economical standpoint, it probably was a great piece of advertisement. But also understanding how women want to feel. There's a deep look into the psychology of women by looking into this movie. Of really understanding how women think, feel, move. Embarrassment's a big thing for you guys. It's not something that you really you don't like for some reason, and I don't know what that issue is because for men, embarrassment is something that we push through. But for some reason, embarrassment for women is something that is just so horrendous of an emotion that it is hard to deal with and you can't push through. And so that's another thing about understanding women too, watching this movie and looking at it. And then how you women stick together when one of you guys is when you got a woman down, we got Mexico, here we come. You know what I'm saying? To help your friends come out of the depression and stick together. I don't think we as men we do that effectively enough. And then also how you guys want a life together. You know, how you guys have an ideal of a life that men can't comprehend because we don't care. And some men will be like, I'm gonna give you what you want because it makes you happy. Like, I don't need the big wedding. I don't care about the big wedding. You want to do the circus? I don't want to do the circus. But you know what? I'm gonna do the circus. It's not going to make me happy, but what makes me happy is seeing you happy. And if it makes you happy, then I'm going to sit there and do whatever it needs because I love you.
But what you missed, Don, is that she didn't want that circus either.
She
kind of got roped into it. She wasn't going to pick out her wedding dress.
They gave her wedding. Well,
she said, "Come do this photo spread." As a woman getting married over 40. She was not going, she was just the model for it. We're trying to highlight women who find their dream man over 40, come model these wedding dresses for us. And it just so happened.
It turned into this big thing.
It turned that one of the designers gifted her the dress. She did not buy that dress. Her dress was a two-piece white suit.
I saw it.
That's what she picked out.
She was like, I'm going to jazz it up, and then everybody wanted to put her into this thing.
Exactly. So she kind of fell victim to peer pressure.
Yeah, and that's probably where there's a lot of moving parts in this movie that if you take the time to really recognize and understand psychological issues, but it takes a mature and a mind who's looking for these things. I think most people when they see this movie are not going to really dig deep into the nuance and the writing of it, which is really dealing with human problems from a maturity level. Because I think a young person looking at this movie is not going to understand half of the stuff that any of these women are going through because they haven't done it themselves or they grew up differently. But it was a great movie to see. Love wins at the end of the film. And then just see also sometimes people dip out of their marriages because they're unhappy, not because I don't love you.
What is interesting to see actually with this franchise, because I'm a huge fan of this franchise, is to see how they dealt with their relationships in the 90s to early 2000s, because that's when this show was on the air as a TV series, to movie to now they brought it back with them older, all settled, and at one point in the TV series, Samantha, the sexually, out there one, she decides to have a lesbian relationship.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is in the late 90s, early 2000s. She's this heterosexual woman, and then she meets this woman, and she's like, yo, I'm in love with this woman, and I'm stepping outside of the box. I'm getting an education, and all her friends judge her for it. They're like, how do you just wake up one day and you like women and be a lesbian? Like, this is impossible. They judge. Skip forward 20 years. The redhead lawyer, Miranda, falls in love with a woman.
Yeah, who has
and no one judges her for it because now we're 30 years in the future.
Right.
But you know what's so interesting is that redhead had a lot of growing to do and was repressing a lot of, and that was another thing I noticed about the movie of how people have repressed so much of their lives to live a character, and at some point, that character is not real.
Nope.
It's not who you really are at the end of the day. And then it took her husband cheating on her to disrupt the character that she has played for so long, and have her do a deep dive into who she was as an individual, and says, you know what? Maybe I want a woman. You know,
she ends up cheating on her husband, and her husband says, I'll take Miranda however she is. I love her, but then he also tells her, he says, you've never chosen me. I've never been enough for you, which is how she treated him through the entire relationship. Because he was just a bartender when they met. She was his high-power attorney. He was the bartender that she picked up on one bad night after a fight with her friend. And she was always super dismissive to him.
Right, and it plays out. But even at the end of the day, it also makes sense of how they wrote that into her being a lesbian at the end of the day, because maybe she just was repressing something inside of her and doing what societal standards demanded what she needed to do. The wife, husband, kid, and she just wasn't living her life being happy. It was a great insight into whoever wrote this, and whoever did a very good job of creating a lot of life nuance, mature life nuance that an older audience could really understand. There was one other thing in that movie that I wanted to get to, was the wild one, Samantha? Is that her name?
Samantha.
How, and this is sometimes happens in life too, that you come across a good guy and you want to be so good to the relationship.
Because she had cancer.
Wait, no. The one that moved to Malibu.
Samantha had cancer. So during the television series, Samantha gets cancer at the end. She meets Smith, and that's how they meet. She makes him a huge star, but she gets cancer like the end of the last season. And he stays with her all through chemo and her getting better through breast cancer. And that's how they end up moving to Malibu together.
Okay.
And yes.
But the fact that she released him.
Yep.
And the fact that he was so receptive, because at the end of the day, he was like, my love lies in your happiness.
Yep.
And if it's not with me, I still love you, and I just want you to be happy. And he let her go. And she was just a person who just liked, I think, excitement and variety. I mean, there was an extra neighbor that
monogamy was not her thing.
Was not her thing, and I think that's for some people we need to recognize that in our society that monogamy doesn't work for them.
Well, I think she would have been monogamous had Smith not got so famous and couldn't be home to be with her. Yes. That was her thing. She was like, I'm horny. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, where's my
Was that what it was? Because she was very upset.
She did the sushi thing all over her.
I was
and
like,
he showed up late. Because she wanted that sexual fluidity, like that's what she wanted from him. And he was younger, so he had that energy for her.
Yeah, one thing my girlfriend said to me after that says, do not ever buy a woman a Valentine's Day gift from Rite Aid or CVS, which I think is such a young person's thing because it's there. A true Valentine's Day gift takes thought, and speaking of that, it's coming up soon, but it takes thought. And he came home with a box of chocolates from like a CVS or Ralph's.
Yeah, to be a millionaire, that was crap.
Right. It was what it was I'm thinking about you, but you're an afterthought compared to my schedule.
Right.
When she laid out this massive feast of her naked body with sushi on it, which I would have been like, ooh, let me chew slowly. So I don't know. Great movie to watch when you're high.
I mean, I can't even break down all the things. The glorification of Carrie and how, back in the 90s, everybody thinks that she's the one to be. Everybody wants to be Carrie. She's the calm, cool.
Carrie, was that the one that was Marry Mr. Big?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, Carrie smoked. She was terrible with her finances. She never cooked. She kept shoes in her oven. She wasn't even really wifey material.
Well, she was
why did she put shoes in her oven?
Because she doesn't cook. Oh. She smoked. She drank every night.
Yeah, listen. It's not that you're not wifey material. It's you still want to be a wife, and I think there's a learning aspect of it. And then you got to find the husband for you. I think she found the husband for her that did not care about all the traditional things that we have instilled in a lot of women at a very young age. And he had the money to work around those things.
When you get to the series now, though, at the very beginning of the new series, she's cooking, she's grocery shopping. She's making the meals. She's picking out the perfect fish.
Maybe it's maturity. Maybe it's maturity as we all do mature over time throughout our lives, to where we say, there are things I would have never done 10 years ago that I'm happy to do now.
She learned what her man needed.
Right, yeah, and that's really what it is at the end of the day. And it's not necessarily I'm doing this to be a slave or enslaved to you. I'm doing this because I want to be in service of you. Yeah. And these are the things. And this is, like I said, there's a lot of great things in this movie that you can take if you're paying attention to the symbolism in it. It's very well written, and it's written in a nuanced way, and you have to look at it through that lens. Yeah. If you're just looking at it as a story, because the first time I watched it, I watched it sober, I'm like, I do not want to watch this garbage.
Oh, my gosh.
But I understand why. Like, my girlfriend doesn't want to watch anything besides. I wanted her to watch something scary with me. She refused.
Absolutely.
The closest thing I got to her was her watching Nope.
I was forced into a movie marathon this weekend.
Oh, so good. Was it
watching all the movies that my husband thought I should watch growing up?
Oh, okay. What were they? I want to hear them.
New Jack City.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, I love New Jack City.
New Jack City. What else?
Yes. Breaking.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of Breaking, but I'll sit through that.
And then I made him watch Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't listen. I
made him watch Hamilton. He fell asleep. At one point he just goes, look, just turn it off. Please just turn it off.
Because you're the only person that's excited about it, because you're looking at it through a lens of acting and how they're hitting this mark and they're performing. And you're seeing so much other stuff in that musical than he is paying attention to.
Are you not interested in the story of our founding fathers and how they gangstered this country?
No, I don't even think you're interested in it. I think the reason that you're interested in it is because of the aesthetic of the crew, how it was written, how it was performed, and the acting in it. I think that's the only reason you like this Hamilton play, because you're looking at it from a Broadway educational aspect more so than a story aspect.
It's a great story.
You're looking at the production and how immaculate the production is.
It was a great story. The story of the founding of this country.
Well, tell me the story. Don't sing it. I don't need to hear singing. I don't know why.
But it's hip hop. They're mostly rapping.
I'm good. I need dialogue and some fighting and some shooting and some stabbing and I don't need to. Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. Who is Alexander? Alexander. He's coming. Alexander Hamilton.
That's okay. The next movie is on me, and he'll be watching what? The Sound of Music. Come get some culture. Come learn. Come hear some good music. Some good singing.
Look, when you say the next movie is on you, it should be a DVD box on your stomach with some sushi on it. That's what the next movie needs to be.
So he picked Break-In, New Jack City.
Because those are just like a couple of cult classics that I hadn't seen. I don't know how I missed those in my younger years.
Got some good
I've seen most of them, like Juice. I've seen.
I mean, they're not all good. They're not all great movies, but there's movies you just see.
Hold on, I feel that New Jack City had a great message. The acting to me was good. The music was phenomenal. I still have the soundtrack.
Well, the stereotypes in that movie, I really don't agree with.
Listen, this will be another moment that when I get home, my husband's going to turn to me and say, "Why aren't you more like Krista?" But you hear her? She's got the soundtrack. She loves the movie. She says I have good taste. Krista, stop being so great, okay?
I gotta tell you this. Every time I see Boys in the Hood, I still cry. I can't
watch it because
I still cry.
And that's in Minister Society.
Oh yeah, Minister Society.
Because that was my growing up. And it was filmed on the way I used to walk to Crenshaw High. It was filmed right on the block when I used to go to school. So I passed that house every day. I mean, them movies are sad.
All right, more of this conversation when we come forward. We got a woman who finds out who her dad is. I'll give you that story when we come next.
We may be LA's newest talk station, but when you're punching above your weight, it's not about whether you can throw a punch. Can you take a punch? We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1588. And we don't black down.
Special Needs Network Incorporated, together with Assembly Member Isaac Bryan, cordially invites you to Christmas Care Exchange in the Park, Sunday, December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assembly Member Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years old. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck Schools, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Fabulocos.
Did you know it pays to drive electric? With government rebates, you'll save thousands on the purchase of a new or used EV. And the more you drive, the more you'll save, both on fuel and maintenance far into the future. Start seeing savings today. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Shoot Your Shot SoCal, a self-service photo booth, perfect for all types of events, birthdays, concerts, festivals, weddings, and more. Send images and videos instantly via email and enhance guest experience. Contact Shoot Your Shot on Instagram. They serve Inland Empire, Los Angeles, and Orange County with friendly and reliable staff. Corporate event, taking still photos and boomerangs with Shoot Your Shot SoCal. Go to Instagram today and book your Shoot Your Shot Cal event.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Where can you jingle, mingle, and find every single holiday gift? Lowe's, actually. Wander the aisles during Winterfest and pick out the perfect present for $99, like a Craftsman 20-volt 2-tool combo kit, or your choice of a Cobalt 24-volt Max brushless drill kit or impact driver kit. Or give the gift of possibilities with a Lowe's gift card. Get all of your holiday shopping done at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 12/24 while supplies last.
We're not ratings driven. We're engagement driven. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Check it out.
All right, Christmas is coming up. I'll let you guys pick, okay? Because they're both good. Woman discovers her dad isn't her biological father after a stranger texts her to get the DNA test. That's one story I can give you.
Okay.
Or do you want to hear about the grandmother who charges her kids for Christmas dinner?
I like the first one. I don't want to hear about the grandma.
You don't want to hear about the grandmother?
No.
I'm going to give you both of them.
Okay, that's fine.
Grandma charges the family for dinner.
Heck yeah.
I think the adult place is like $18. The teenager place is like $9, and then the very small kids are like $3. She gives you multiple time to pay. She's always, she's always calling before Christmas dinner. But she started this tradition in 2016, I believe.
She charges her family.
Because it's expensive.
She charges her family. I don't know why she started this. I don't know if it was money or what, but she started charging for Christmas dinner, and I'm like,
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, the first thought was like, how dare you? Like, I wouldn't charge you if I was cooking you dinner.
Yeah.
But then again, if this is the tradition that Mom is starting, do you not participate?
You participate. When my mom was cooking the turkey, I always said we tip the chef.
What?
So we would tip the chef. That was our way of thinking.
And they're always, listen, we're not, we all this food is put before a lot of people. We're not thinking about where it came from and who had to go spend money to get it.
Right.
Regardless of the little old stanky salad potatoes you brought or whatever you brought to them. What is it? What potato salad with raisins? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
unless you're doing it potluck style, I think that's fair.
I don't know. So we're going to say that story, but I'll give you the story first. When a woman discovers her dad isn't her biological father when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We don't try to be all things to all people. We just remain true to who we are. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Comedian Dave Chappelle will be performing tonight in Sacramento, California. This comes on the heels of his performance in San Francisco last night when he brought Twitter CEO Elon Musk on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
Musk was booed for the majority of the time while he was on stage. He even tried to make a joke from the critically acclaimed Chappelle Show, but was drowned out by more boos from the audience. ABC News President, African-American Kim Godwin says anchors T.J. Holmes and Amy Robach will remain off air, pending an internal review. Holmes and Robach have been in the headlines after pictures surfaced that suggested the two were in a romantic relationship. The duo has been off the air since December 5th. Singer Dionne Warwick is 82. Her hits include the songs Walk On By and Do You Know the Way to San Jose. And that's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In Hollywood, we've got a full closure of Hollywood Boulevard, both directions, between Orange Drive and Highland Avenue for a special event. That's got traffic in the area a little bit rough, and the best alternate to get around that closure is Franklin or Sunset Boulevard. In Castaic, northbound 5, we still have the right lane closed between Lake Hughes and Templin Highway due to damages from the root fire, and they expect that closure to last until the 1st of March. If you are heading to any of the mountain areas today, make sure you've got snow chains or four-wheel drive. We do have a lot of those requirements in effect right now. In Ontario, eastbound 60 between Milliken and Etiwanda, we've got the carpool lane blocked off until 3 o'clock for drain cleaning.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The accident guys have helped over 5,000 injured clients with an impressive winning record.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are back in action tonight after returning home from a 2-2 road trip in the Eastern Conference. They play the Boston Celtics at Crypto.com. NBA Nation is mourning the loss of Paul Silas.
one of the league's most respected players and coaches. Silas passed away from heart failure late Sunday night. He was 79. Silas was a three-time NBA champion during his 17-year career. Seattle. He was a head coach in the NBA with 5 different teams. His first coaching job was with the Clippers in 1980 when the team was in San Diego. Silas' son Steven is head coach of the Houston Rockets. Little known fact about Paul Silas, he was the first cousin of the popular singing group the Pointer Sisters. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call on me, your MVP.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversations, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow 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 the leader.
Strengthening the Black Village is a nonprofit offering free, effective Black parenting training. Parenting courses, and we're open to others. Register for our February 6, 2023 course by calling 323-804-8469. That's 323-804-8469. Visit strengtheningtheblackvillage.org. That's strengtheningtheblackvillage.org.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Spa Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today I spoke with Tatiana, a community manager for JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Tatiana Roberts. I am a community manager for JP Morgan Chase. I have to honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling position that I've ever had, where I get to give back to the community because I saw my mom's struggles. That's really what fuels what I do to make sure that the community has all the access to the resources that my mother didn't have.
So for the mother who's in business, what are 3 quick tips you can give to ensure that they're on the right path to accessing financial support from a bank like Chase?
Say number 1, just make sure that you're checking your credit on a consistent basis and taking action to either fix your credit. The second thing would be budget. I know that B word is kind of like ugly for right? A lot of people don't like that B word, but it has to be done. We need to tell our money where to go. The last thing is to build a network of supporters that are going to lift you up.
The community building here in Crenshaw is that network. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Aisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
All right, so imagine all your life your mother tells you that the man who is by her side is your father, they're happily married, and one day you get a text message, a DM on social media, or maybe Instagram or Facebook, that says, hey, if I were you, I would get a DNA test. That's, and she's like, what? Why would you say something like that? If I were you, I would get a DNA test. And this person was emailing from a burner account. Didn't know anybody, didn't know anything about this individual, and so she went and got a DNA test. And she found out that her father wasn't really her father.
Oh, wow.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Turns out, while Mom was in her 30s and went back for her bachelor's or master's degree at school, she had a little woohoo with a 25-year-old college student at the campus, which is what college is for. But it turns out Mom got pregnant because of this situation, and she cheated on Dad. And now the guy who she got pregnant with on campus came out to her and said, "Is that mine?" To which Mom said no. But the guy was always skeptical because of the timeline. And throughout his whole life, the biological father followed Mom on social media and saw Mom had a baby and followed the baby all throughout the baby's life on social media, from the baby being a tween, to a teenager, to an adult, to having a child of her own. He's been watching her grow up and live through social media. And so the biological father was the one who said, enough is enough. Get a DNA test. The girl did it and found out that her dad wasn't really her dad. Now, she says this doesn't change the fact of who my father is because this man raised me. Mm-hmm. Nothing changes it between us. But confronted Mom, and Mom wanted no part of the affair to exist. She didn't want it to be, she didn't want to acknowledge it. She just wanted to go on about it. And kudos to the man who stayed by that woman's side after she cheated and raised a child as his own. That's a hard thing to do. Walking around with every day looking at this young child and knowing it's not your seed. It's a lot of selflessness there going on. Why was Mom all loosey-goosey in college? Maybe any of you women can explain us. You guys, I'm pretty sure, have been loosey-goosey at some time in your life.
Not me. I was a virgin until I got married.
The
second time.
I was always great. No, I never did anything bad like that.
Nobody's loosey-goosey over here. Okay. JW.
That is.
I know. JW, what's going on, man?
Hey, yeah, they call it March Madness, my brother.
Okay. All right.
And plus, as they always say,
JW, I was in the band in high school, so I played near sport. The only sport I know how to is to march time march. That's it.
You play an instrument?
The final four was who was going to win the band competition. Yes, I played trombone, saxophone, drums. What else did I play?
I have no idea you were musical.
I played the quads a little bit. I read bass clef, treble clef. Played bass trombone. And tried to learn the trumpet a little bit, but because of the mouthpiece between the trombone and trumpet, it's a little bit difficult. But
that speaks to your flexibility and your imagination and your creativity too. And let me allude to your transportation thing. I think that was excellent. And I won't go into a long, drawn-out story, but just to make it quick, the monorail system at Disneyland, when I was a kid, I'm 66. So you can imagine way back in the early 60s, they had that in Futureland. And that was one thing it was called People Mover in reference to that flat escalator system in terms of getting across town without the automobiles and creating extra space because you don't have to have the freeways no more because that's why California had a lot of freeways because of the fact that the oil companies had some hidden deal where they wanted to create mass.
All right, JW, you're losing me. I'm dying. My brain is like starting to think about The Simpsons and Family Guy right now.
Okay, yeah, right. Talk. Right, thank you, sweetheart, for backing me up because I know it's really.
JW, I'm trying to reminisce about some adult film I was watching yesterday. JW, you're losing me, man.
JW, you haven't lost me.
I will be blunt and direct.
Yeah.
I think that offshore transportation is excellent.
Yeah, I appreciate that, JW. I mean, imagine if you could drive out to Catalina through a Hyperloop system. Yeah. Take about 20 minutes. We're we have to rethink everything now. Instead of traveling on the water, why not travel under the water or travel through the water?
Yeah.
Imagine if there's transportation gets you to Catalina and back. There's a parking lot.
What does that do to the fish?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't do anything to the fish.
What does that do to the coral reef?
Maybe we're creating it. Maybe we're turning the Hyperloop into a coral reef. Maybe outside of the Hyperloop could be a coral reef.
Yeah, but coral reef. I don't think that's the way it works.
You're over here. Listen.
It runs in a very specific direction, and it's for a reason. What does that do to if you're down there working and building and messing up?
Well, they've got a tunnel. They have a tunnel that connects France to England.
It'd be like driving tunnels through the national forest.
People like you.
Like leave stuff alone. Some stuff should be left
here we
alone.
go. It's people like you that don't want to progress.
Is that progression?
Yeah, you have to listen. In order to progress, you have to disturb something. I mean, hell.
How do we disturb it?
Well, no, listen. You're where you have your house. There's probably a wildlife preserve 2,000 years ago.
In Compton?
Yes. Let's return the land.
We're in a desert.
Let's return the land back to the animals.
This is a desert.
Screw the animals in the environment. Okay, that's the way I look at it.
We ain't gonna have no air to breathe dealing with you.
I'm trying to take the cars off the street. I gave you a plan to take the cars off the street. They don't care to be somebody sent me a message here. Lincoln tunnel goes through the ocean. Yeah.
Somebody said you got a short attention span.
I know. He was giving you a compliment. He really liked your idea.
I heard
and needed a little time to get to it.
I heard the compliment. I don't need an essay on how you got to the compliment.
You are so mean.
I heard it. I appreciate it. Let's keep it moving.
Let me ask you this. You said that you want to be loving and kind of a light, right?
Yes.
Don't we start with patience?
Yes.
He said, "Excuse me, I'm 66 or 60. I don't remember how old he said he was. He's in the 60s. This is a good exercise for you to be loving and be that light."
I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to do that here. In my personal life, on a one-on-one connection, I will be loving, I'll be light, and I'll have patience.
Yes.
On the radio here, where there are millions of people listening to what we're doing right now, I need to have brevity, and I need to keep the show moving. So if you cannot provide either of the two, I'm just going to say, hey, man, you're losing me, brother.
Oh, boy.
Brother, I'm looking at, I'm reimagining a film I watched with Christy Mack. This is a little bit more interesting.
Who's Christy Mack?
Oh, God, one of the most amazing pogs ever.
What's a pog? Porn star?
A fat-ass white girl. That's what a pog is.
What's it, Christy what?
Christy Mack. Oh, just Google Christy Mack. Oh, she's so beautiful.
What?
So beautiful. Yeah.
What is it? Pog? What word are you saying?
Fat-ass white. P-H-A-T. Fat-ass white girl.
She's a nude model. Okay, great.
Yeah, she's evolved. She's been through a lot in her career, but she's, I don't even know if she's still doing adult film. She was dating a MMA guy, and he beat her horrifically, and he's in jail for I think life now. And I think maybe when that happened, she might have got out of the industry.
That's sad.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the adult art, and adult film is an art form that I think is underappreciated.
I like the tattoos.
There's a look to her.
Oh, I see.
The hair, the look, the style.
There's a lot of people in the Inland Empire that look just like
that.
Yeah.
She has a certain look for LA. So she has a SoCal or Arizona look also.
Is that real? Do you think that's real? I don't know. I can't tell. For buttocks is real.
It's well done. I know her boobs aren't, but it's well done. Whatever it is, she did a good job.
That looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Because she makes money. But there's a lot of adult farmers who perform. That's what they do. Yeah, so he was, I was reminiscing about that video.
Wow.
JW, while you were talking. Oh God, JW's back. Okay, all right. Before JW, I'll give you one more crack at it. Yes, JW.
Okay, I'm back online.
Yeah, go ahead. You're online.
Okay,
You're on live.
Okay, yeah, thank you, my brother Don. Yeah, from this point forward, I'll be more glad to be more specific and make sure that I clarify my points for you to comprehend where you will not be losing me. So I apologize. So yeah, I wanted you and comment on various different topics that you brought up earlier.
Okay.
In reference to, older people in my generation, they were quite way more secretive than the generation you're referring to now on air. Because I'm 66 and a lot of older people had secrets, and their main motivation was they didn't like to air their laundry in public or with other family members or just associated neighbors.
Around my room before you can. You got a date? Or no? You got a date? Or no?
Don. Don.
Oh boy.
Did I lose you or did I make a good point?
I think you made a good point.
I know I did. I appreciate you giving me that recognition because John can follow me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on Vine. I'm sorry. I was looking at some popular Vines. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What was you saying now, JW? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just stating that older people like to keep things private and not share their dirty laundry in the public.
That's
true.
true.
That's why they're secretive.
Yeah, but does that? But hold on, Don. But is that good for children? Is that good for their children?
What are we talking about now? I'm sorry.
He said older people like to keep things secret and not air their dirty laundry. Yes, but that's living a life of lies.
So yes and no. It is good for the kids if they don't know. If they can make it all the way to their death and they don't know. What you don't know is not going to hurt you.
But that never happens. The secrets always come out.
Yes.
The lies always come out. And at the most inopportune time.
So there's one thing that they're trying to keep a secret from you because what you don't know doesn't hurt. The other thing is that they have an inability and an emotional immaturity on able to dealing with hard issues in a way that explains their point and is honest at the same time too, and they don't want to damage the family and they care. So a lot of it's rooted out of love and I'm not wanting to hurt. Some of it's rooted out of I just don't know how to deal with this in an effective manner, and some of it's just like let's just sweep this on the rug like the old folk used to do back in the day. Some of it's because this is probably this whole getting rid of stuff has been passed down probably from generation to generation and generation. There's probably been many generations that are not alive now that have never dealt with emotional trauma because you just deal with things.
As well as insecurity.
Yeah.
And see, you made a good point when you were saying that the older generation still be able to have the ability to communicate to the generation in this era right now because it would be beneficial for them to communicate to their kids or grandkids so their grandkids won't repeat the same mistakes.
Yeah, but they have to do a better job of communicating the actual truth, which they don't want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Point well made. And I was saying it would be great if they would have that ability or if we start motivating each other to do things of that nature. And let me change the subject. Going back to Sharon Bass, and I think Don, stop playing. I'm making a good point. I really think that we should have more exposure with the radio show and public officials because that's how we can educate each other and get information out.
Yeah.
Man,
how come you never do this to Mary?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rose Larry Green.
All right, JW, I appreciate you. Thank you for a lot of great information we got out of you, man, and thank you for listening. I appreciate you. You're welcome to call anytime, and I appreciate that. Oh, he hung up. Okay.
Aww. Don. That would hurt my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys done? Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, are we boring you now today?
I know, I guess we are.
I was on Vine again. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Vine. Who's even on Vine?
Yeah, I know.
Who's even on Vine anymore?
All right, well, this conversation where we come for is KBLA Talk 1580.
The quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Study reveals barriers to mental health for Black and Latina women in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. A poll conducted by Eviteris, sponsored by Black Women Organized for Political Action and Hispanas Organized for Political Equity, found that 77% of some 800 women participants experienced some form of discrimination due to personal characteristics. More than 3 in 5 respondents have had mental health concerns for which they did not seek care. These same women reported often having had negative experiences with providers. 70% of Black women and 54% of Latinas reported racial or ethnic discrimination. Another 59% of Black women and 55% of Latinas report assumptions were made about their income and education levels. 40% of Latinas reported discrimination based on assumptions about their ability to communicate in English, while 28% reported assumptions about their documentation. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
3-time WNBA champions, the Los Angeles Sparks, jump into their 27th season this summer with the most games ever in league history. This historic 40-game season means more world-class play in a city where the party never stops. Get connected to an unforgettable experience and secure your seats now at LASparks.com/tickets.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Crenshaw in historic Lamert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Hey! That's a narcissist, is it? This is very interesting, and I love this story when I first found out about it. This mother who's charging her family for Christmas dinner. And I think this is a new thing. Everyone has their family traditions that come up during the holiday, but the mom is taking it to the extreme. Caroline Dudgery, 63, charging everyone for Christmas dinner, including her grandkids. The mom of 5 and grandma of 6 is charging up to $18 for a meal. Her 12-year-old, a 3-year-old, 9-year-old, and grandson have to pony up $6. Her 2 3-year-old grandchildren are being charged $3, and she charges adult women less because they have families to work and work part-time. I feel some type of way about that, Mom. I don't mind the kids, but you can't give the adults a pass. I log into my bank account and check who's made their Christmas dinner payment in November. She told us so.
That's funny.
Once my naughty and nice tally is done, I do a quick ring around chasing delinquent depositors and remind them to meet their payment date of December 1st. She's a widower and a pensioner, and said her 5 adult children ages 37, 34, 29, and 24 are all used to getting the reminder phone call. I know some will moan, and I'll get excuses like, my pay hasn't gone in my bank account, or my bank account is frozen, or can I leave for another week, but I will eventually receive cash from them for the meal. She started charging for Christmas in 2016, and has since become part of her family's traditions. Immediate relatives are used to it by now. Some people might think it's harsh to put a levy on meals for kids, but it's an important life lesson. The older grandkids like to try and offer to help me to earn some of their money back, and I admire that, she says. Dudridge says she spends dozens of hours scouring grocery stores for the cheapest and best deals, especially with the price of groceries skyrocketing this year. Every week, my meal budget buys less and less, so I have to be tactical in buying ingredients to make the dinner for my 12 guests, said Dudridge, who receives about $12 a month in a widower's pension. This is in the UK. Her husband passed away in 2015, cutting her expendable income by half. So that's why she started this, assuming. Like many moms and grands who always make Christmas dinner, I couldn't bear the cost of buying all the gifts, paying for the entire meal. I was worried I'd spend some of the new year paying it off again. In order to help with Christmas dinner, she told her kids she was going to start starting a Christmas kitty jar, asking her two boys to put in $2 per week and her daughters about $1 a week, which is, you know what?
Why is she even having to ask?
Well, people don't know what your situation is.
It's their mom.
Yeah,
they know that the dad died.
But we don't know what mom's finances are. I don't know what she got.
I know everything about my mom's finances.
You know.
I know that she's retired. I know how much money she makes every month. Those are bad children. They should be like, here, Mom, here's $400 if you're going to do Christmas dinner. Why aren't they already just ponying up extra money?
It should just go into an account and say, hey, here's Mom, so Mom can do momly things.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to think that way. Some weeks everyone paid, and other weeks some of the kids forgot or didn't have change. It ended up with some of my adult kids paying more and others not paying as much. There was always bickering, she said. Dudridge ended up getting rid of the jar and instead implemented a set price to make it fair. But the cost includes custom dishes, as everyone has to say in the menu. The dinner typically includes wine, soft drinks, pudding, Christmas crackers, nuts, and cheese, as well as the traditional table decorations.
For $18, that's a steal.
All the children and grandchildren also do a job when it comes to serving the meal. My plan at least streamlines dinner and ensures everyone has a say and helps out, and no one faces post-Christmas money problems yet. Which I think this is a great teachable moment here. If the dinner guests don't pay on time, they simply get uninvited.
She's hardcore.
I know many people were criticized charging for the Christmas meal, but I'm not bothered. She admits it's not money grabbing. It just makes budgeting sense and spreads the cost fairly between everyone at the table. And you know what? We don't really realize when we go collect those plates on July 4th, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, how much someone has gone out of their way to provide a spread, and we don't think about that. It's just there. And so I think this mom is thinking outside the box, and I think this is great. Expecting one person to pay for the entire meal and prepare it, clean it up, have their heating and electricity used is too much. The amount I charge for dinner includes electricity. It's a no-brainer for me, and it's the only way to go. So shouts out to this woman doing it. Maybe you can implement this in your own home as a life lesson tool about money and preparation. More of this conversation than James. We'll get to your phone call when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from a Black Information Network. 2 winter storms are hitting millions of Americans. So far, these storms have led to more than 100 flight cancellations and nearly 3,000 delays today. More than 15 million people in 14 states are under some sort of winter weather alert today. A longer version of a video was released showing the altercation. LA Councilmember Kevin De Leon was